Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Dylan Silver, and today on the show we have real estate entrepreneur out of Fort Worth, multifamily investor, Dustin Miles. Dustin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you. And I'd like to start off at the top of the show by asking you how you got into the real estate space.
Yeah, great question. I think I've always been just pretty entrepreneurial in general. So, as a little kid, I had a candy business at like 8 years old. My bus driver called me the Candy Man, which is kind of fun. And then I had a e-commerce business in college. And then I went to school for engineering, got out of school and did the engineering thing for a little bit. And I was like, man, I'm kind of wanted to start a business. And so, real estate, is everywhere and everybody needs a place to live. And so that was kind of a natural, attraction for me. And then, anybody who I talked to or met that did real estate, I was, always, quick to ask him about it and see how it's going, and just learn as much as I could.
And so, that entry point into real estate for you, did you get in as a single family investor? Did you immediately do multifamily deals, which you're doing now? What was the entry point for you?
Yeah. So I started kind of 2006 or 2005, something like that. I started going to conferences where it was you run to the back of the room to buy CDs and all that. And so I don't know. I always kind of, a lot of that gave me pause. And so anyway, started going to local meetups when I moved back to DFW. So went to all the different meetups around town. Was probably more educated than I didn't have any practical knowledge, but probably analyzed everything to death. And then it's probably on me. I didn't pull the trigger for a while, but we did mentoring with a few different groups, and then had some success with Lifestyles Unlimited. So anyways, did about half a dozen rentals and flips. Kind of started buying them in 2009, 2010. I didn't know at the time, but it was really good timing. And so just started buying those. Bought a foreclosure for $90,000. It wasn't like a super heavy lift, but I rented that out, and then did 5 others after that, and had I'd say decent success. I didn't it wasn't a grand slam, but it's probably all singles and doubles. So
You
yeah.
mentioned foreclosure. Was that deal or those deals, did you get them at the auction?
No, I didn't. They were just on the MLS, and yeah, they were bought those. So yeah,
So those are
nothing. I
typically, from my understanding, bank-owned properties. I could be wrong on this, but I think they're bank-owned.
Yeah.
Do those Can you get a mortgage on those, or you have to pay cash for those? How does that work?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, yeah. At least at the time, yeah, I went and got just a regular. Actually, the first one was through a smaller bank, and so yeah, bought the deal through them. It was like a 5-year note, and so I'd have to renew or whatever every 5 years with them. I think some of the others that rentals were, and they were foreclosures. I did get like a typical, I think maybe it was like a two-step program. It was because there was a good bit of rehab, so I did rehab, and then I went into, a typical Fannie Mae loan after that. So.
So you do the foreclosures to start out, and are you any specific way that you were underwriting these deals? What was your process like? I mean, all the money's made on the buy, right? So if we get granular here, how are you determining what to offer on these deals?
Yeah. So I mean, I would, see, obviously kind of what they're offering, but I would look at the value. I'd get some comps. I think I had access to some comp software. I can't remember. And then just kind of back in numbers, from there. And then I'd look at, because I was renting mainly. So I'd look at the rents and make sure that, there was some buffer there as well. Because as you know, not everything goes the way you planned it out to be.
That's right.
And so, anyways, yeah, just tried to leave plenty of buffer in there, and so that's how, I'm not a single family expert by any means, but that's, basically what I did.
And so you're doing these deals by yourself or with partners initially?
Just me, and then did some with hard money and all that too. So.
And so at what point did multifamily start to uh, transition into from single to multi?
Yeah, good question. So I was interested in multifamily kind of the whole time, like because lifestyles did single family and multifamily, and so I was, doing single family. I'm like, okay, let me just kind of, I saw it as, let me dip my toes in the water, and then I'll do, multifamily after that. And so I guess that was kind of a, mind block or whatever, that I had to do single family first before I had to do multifamily, which I have known plenty of people just to make that jump. But anyways, but for me, I wanted to, kind of dip my toes in the water, make sure, it was okay. But I got into my first multifamily deal as a passive in 2012.
And so from there, did you say, I'm going to pivot my business completely to this, or was it a different trajectory that you took to really dive into multifamily?
I was ready. So I, was doing, I don't know, I mean, I worked as an engineer at the time, full time, and I was doing this on the side. And so it was, and, had a young family and all that stuff. So, some of the rehab stuff was a little bit of pain, and then, just I had to babysit people and hire and fire people, pretty consistently. And so, I was like, okay, I'm ready to kind of move on to, not that there's not, bumps in the road in other businesses. It doesn't matter what business you own. If you're anywhere near the operations, there's going to be bumps in the road.
Issue,
But
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, so 2012, really started, shifting. I was selling, the single family I did have around that time, which is, I guess, pretty decent timing too. And so, anyway, started to transition 2012, 2013, and then I think I was out of everything except for the first deal that I bought because it was easy rental. But yeah, and then I did my first syndication where I was the lead and put it all together in 2014.
And so at that point in time, and I guess I should get some more background. Today, you're not involved in engineering. Real estate is your full-time thing, or are you still involved with engineering?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, no, I went part-time engineer, which I just worked 2 days a week, starting 2018, and then I left that job in 2021.
And so for the last 4 years, you've been full-time with it. Has the last 4 years been multifamily, or has there been a couple of the other strategies that you've employed during the last couple of years?
Yeah, all multifamily as far as, my just kind of where I'm active and all that. I mean, I do invest passively in some other stuff, businesses and oil and gas and stuff like that and Bitcoin mining, but yeah, my day-to-day business is all multifamily.
And so let's dive in. Let's get a little granular on multifamily. So when you're looking for multifamily deals, these come in all different varieties. You get distressed, you get with tenants, you get no tenants. I believe multifamily is units over four. Is that correct? Anything over four would be considered
That's
multifamily.
right.
But is there a cap at multifamily? Does it like, well, once you hit this many doors, now it's commercial or something? Or what is multifamily in general, if we're going to describe the space?
Yeah, well, I mean, it could anything over four doors, or I guess technically two or more is multi, but yeah, once it gets commercial, it's over four, so five and more is considered commercial. Yeah, and the scale that we're kind of on is we syndicate, so I don't just have a bucket of money over there or anything. But so we pull funds together, and so we're buying typically our deals now are 200 units or more. And if I rewind 10, 15 years ago, there's I'm shaking in my boots and just there's no way I could do that. But yeah, that's kind of the first deal I did that I syndicated was 109 doors. I raised 1.655 million. Bought the deal. It's over in Haltom City, near Fort Worth, and yeah, so it was ended up we bought the timing helped a lot in just the return and all that good stuff. But yeah.
What would you say when you're looking at these deals? I mean, you're looking at so many doors here. What are the characteristics that give you insight that this might be a good deal for us to look at? Is it strictly, what are the rents and then what are we paying for it? Or is it more in depth than that?
Yeah, I mean, it's when I first got into multifamily, it's like I was in preschool or something or kindergarten. And I think to get into multifamily right now, like if you're wanting to be an operator and all that, you kind of need like a master's degree. I think there's been a huge maturation process over the past decade or so. But yeah, in general, we're looking at the going in cap rate. The location is huge. It's the old adage of location, location, location. We're looking at the condition of the asset. We're looking at the financials, the prior performance. We're looking at the comps, as you had pointed out. We don't want something that's leading the market in rents. We want something that's trailing, and then kind of our business plan in general is to move it from the bottom to the middle. We don't want to lead. We like buffer. So
Now, when you're looking at these multifamily deals, are you taking on deals also that may require significant remodel, rehab, or are you looking for things that are more turnkey?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Well, I think so if I mention our rehab budget, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's, you're doing a ton of work. But so we have a portfolio in Houston, about 1,600 units. And those deals most of them are 2000 newer. So they're, if you look at them, they're pretty. But we're generally spending, 10,000 a door. So we're usually spending, 2 million, 2 to 3 million, 2 to 4 million, something like that, on each project. So typically so it's kind of I'd say it's a lighter value add. Usually by the time we get the offices and clubhouses are dated, a lot of the gym stuff is dated, a lot of the just amenities are dated. So we freshen all that stuff up. And then for us, it's big to kind of we want to leave meat on the bone because we want someone else to be excited about, all these improvements that they could do too. So we try to, depends on the interiors that they're already at. We try to, leave a lot of lot of meat on the bone there. So for instance, if we can, kind of be able to, bump rents and all that and just do, quartz or granite or just do black appliances or sometimes stainless, we'll try to, come up with a package that works. But in general, we like to not just renovate the whole complex because we want the next guy to be able to renovate. You get a better cap rate whenever you do that. So.
And then, how heavy is your involvement as far as, overseeing the actual success of these properties? Do you use property managers? And if so, I'm curious, what does it look like when you have these investments out and you're using property managers? When do problems, if ever, come to you, and what does that look like?
Just to be, real transparent, there's always, sometimes things are moving along, pretty smoothly, but we have probably 3,000 residents, total. And so there's always something going on. That's just the nature of things. But I would say, so we do work with a third party management company, but we're heavily involved. So part of what we do is we meet with the managers every week through Teams, and then someone from our team is at the property on a weekly basis. It's one thing to have a Zoom or a Teams call, and it's another to actually step foot on property and be like, okay, cool. Did they actually do what they said they were going to do? So we're heavily involved. For me, I do quite a bit of the asset management. I'm on all the calls, and then I do. We have to. These are big deals. So we have to raise a lot of capital. So I talk to a lot of capital, folks kind of day in, day out.
Let's talk about raising capital. It's funny you mentioned raising capital because I had a guest on earlier today where we
Oh, cool.
dove heavily into capital raising. What has been your uh, strategy when it comes to capital raising? How did you learn to raise capital? Um,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I think really, I mean, I'm not so like my background's engineering, but like I'm not the life party of the guy. I'm not out there, talking to everybody, but I'm pretty social in general. And so I think really it's about relationships. It's not about focusing on money per se. It's about building relationships. And, as you have probably heard a million times, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And so it's really just about relationship building. It's about, touch points. It's about, we have a podcast where similar to this, where I'm building a relationship with people that we might do business with, and if we don't, that's great. But like if we do, that's awesome. So really, it's about building relationships, and then it's doing what you say you're going to do, and follow up is big as well. But we've gotten a lot more, I guess, sophisticated with our CRMs and all that stuff. And so there's a lot of reminders for me to like reach out, or for someone from our team to reach out as well. So I think just trying to provide value, being honest and transparent, and just I think a lot of people, that goes a long way with a lot of people. And you're as long as you're not too there's too much friction, or as long as you're a nice person, you can probably do pretty well in the capital raising space.
I tend to agree. I've had other conversations with folks who've said, well, it's not as easy as going out and just saying what you're doing to a bunch of people. But I tend to think actually that's the starting block. Is you have something that is specifically real estate, right? There takes some level of knowledge and expertise, some core foundational skills to be able to do. People on the
Hmm.
outside may have money, but they may not have the time or the understanding. And so if you
Yep.
tell everybody, hey, this is what I'm doing in real estate, and then this is how much capital I'm raising for this, if they know, like, and trust you, and most people have no other vehicle to invest
Yep.
in real estate, they may take a shot on you, and then you get one person that adds credibility, which is another factor, right? So now you have maybe their network that you can tap into from there, and then before you know it, people are coming to you. And so
Yep.
I've experienced
Yep.
this recently, even shockingly so, where I was like, whoa,
Wow.
I didn't think that this was going to work, and it did. And
Yeah.
to a point where I was like, well, now I've actually got more capital than I thought I had ever even remotely planned for. What do I do now? And this is crazy because if you just took the same me a month ago, a little bit more than that, 45 days ago, I would have said that that's totally impossible. But just from talking to a couple people telling me, you can either bootstrap, you can uh, like be an asset manager, or you can raise capital from other people and inject it in your business. You know, these are a handful of ways to make money, and you don't have to stick to one.
Yep.
That was huge for me. But Dustin, we are coming up on time here. Where can folks go to maybe learn a little more about your business, or to reach out to you?
Yeah. I'm trying to do better about posting on LinkedIn. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Dustin W Miles. And then yeah, you're welcome to shoot me an email. My email is just Dustin at momentummultifamily.com. And if you just want to learn more about us, go to momentummultifamily.com. And would love to chat. Love to just help any way we can.
Dustin, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Congrats on all your success and to your continued success.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.